I have been asked a lot of questions about being an au pair. Like, what is an au pair? What do they do? Like, all of these kinds of things. And I felt that instead of sending everyone like a million messages about it, I would just make a video. So this is just like an introduction video on what an au pair is. So, what is an au pair? An au pair is someone that moves abroad for a period of time to look after children and live with a family, and it's kind of like a cultural exchange as well. So I have come from England and I'm in Italy at the moment, living with a family here, but you could do it from anywhere. You could go from Spain to England to America, Poland, France, like anywhere you want to go, there will be a family that wants you, I can guarantee that. Do you get paid? Generally, yes. Some people I know don't, but that's completely, like, that's just their situation. Most au pairs will be paid. It's different in every country because obviously there's lots of different currencies. In Europe, where I am in Italy, I get 65 euros a week where I am currently, and when I move to another family soon, I'll be on maybe 70 euros a week. I don't know. But yeah, so that's that. The law is different in every country as well. So Italy has no au pair laws. They have no like minimum wage that you can get as an au pair or working hours. But I work generally about 15 hours a week and get 65 euros. And I have all of my accommodation and food paid for, and it's really good. Like, where I am isn't too expensive. I think I'm in like a small city, whereas some people I know have gone to like big cities and they're getting paid the same amount as me, and it doesn't stretch so far. But money's not really the big motivator in any of this. If you want to earn money, probably don't become an au pair, because you're not going to really be able to save what you make, but you can, definitely use it for what you're doing. Are there any negatives to being an au pair? Every job has its negatives. There is no job that anyone goes, yeah, I love that 100% of the time. Like, it does have its negatives, yes, but they're not too bad. So, a problem that I had at first, so I've come to Italy, I can speak reasonably good French, and I'm not fluent. I can speak reasonably good French. I don't speak any Italian at all. So when I first came here, it was very daunting, and it was very much like difficult and isolating at first, because obviously I was having to go out every day, go to cafes, try and meet people, and meeting people when you don't speak their language is impossible. But, it's impossible at first. Like, you do in time, like, learn how to communicate with people even if you still can't speak the language, and there's always people around that will speak English. So I'm very lucky that my first language is English, because if people, they hear me speaking English, they can hear and they go, oh, you're English, and I'm like, yes, I'm English. Like, that's definitely something comforting. But yeah, it can be very isolating at first and very strange. Obviously, when you're in new surroundings, in a new country, it's scary anyway. But if you can't speak the language, that is a difficult point, but it's one that you'll get over very quickly. Like, I still can't speak very much Italian, but I can speak enough to get by. And yeah, I don't know. Another point as well about the whole isolation thing, you really, really, really need to find people that can speak your language. Like, I cannot impress how important that is. I was incredibly lucky that I was on a Facebook group with other au pairs, so I was able to meet people very quickly, and like, once I've met people that could speak my language and that was from the same place as me, and even just had that common like au pair connection, everything was instantly a lot easier because there was someone else nearby that was having the same difficulties and going through the same thing as I was. So yes, there are negatives, but the positives of being abroad and going to a new country far outweigh them. The only other negative that I'd say is that sometimes it's difficult to have like a work-home separation. So whereas, I say, if you're doing an office job, you'll go to work 9 till 5 and then you'll come home and then you'll be relaxed. Whereas with being an au pair, you're never really sure when you're working or when you're not working. So say I know that I specifically have to go to school at 1 p.m. and then I'll have to look after the girl that I live with until at least about 3. But then after that, when the parents come home, it can be a bit difficult sometimes trying to work out, am I working? Am I not working? Like, what's going on? Yeah, like, I don't know. It does get a bit dicey at points, especially in the evenings as well. So after you had dinner, they'll have their family time, and I won't want to intrude too much, as like they don't get to see each other very often during the day. So I'll try and like go into my room and then I'll come back out again, and that is an issue, the whole work home, like the separation, because it can mean you're a little bit on edge at times. But I mean, I've been so lucky with the family that I'm with, because they've been so understanding of like that I want to spend time with them, but I also do need my time to relax and like be by myself. So generally they've been absolutely fine like with everything that's gone on. But the home-work separation, like that is possibly the biggest negative. It's just a little bit like difficult at times, and also sometimes they'll be like, oh, can you babysit tonight? And that's fine, like no problem, that is in my job description. I am essentially a babysitter, but it's like, I don't know, yeah. Okay, let's move on swiftly. How do I become an au pair? Okay, so there are loads of different ways to become an au pair. I personally used a website called Au Pair World. It's a completely free website that you can use to sign up as an au pair, and you have to write a profile out and say the countries that you'd like to go to and upload a picture. Whilst Au Pair World is completely safe, I would trust it. I know that some people wouldn't. And for those kind of things, there are agencies. So I think there's a Mary Au Pair is one that is an agency that people use for au pairing in America, as well as Au Pair America. And I know a few people here that have used Celtic au pairing like agencies, and there's also groups on Facebook as well. Where families post saying we need an au pair for this, or they have like agents that will say we have a family that would like an au pair, and then they'll contact anyone that they think falls into that category of like being a suitable au pair for that family. So it is very easy to become an au pair. There are lots of avenues, and I'll leave all the links to these different agencies and sites in the description. And yeah, that is everything for this video. I've got a few other points that I'd like to touch on, but I think I might do that in another video because it's getting very long. I think I've been filming for about half an hour now. If you have any questions for me about au pairing, don't hesitate to write anything in the comments, and I'll put my Twitter down there as well, so you can tweet me or anything. Yeah, that's it. So I really hope that that's been informative for you, and I'll see you again sometime.